this is Carla from Written Word Calligraphy and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited to be sharing to you my top tools for writing in calligraphy. I believe, at least as a calligrapher for almost a decade now, that there's at least 4 things you need to write in calligraphy. You need a nib, you need a pen, need some ink, and some paper. And there is such a thing called the best mashup of tools in calligrapher. I actually did a video not too long ago about a nib marathon. So I went and tested 10 different nibs, like a little speed dating gig, just to show you guys how each nib performs differently, and also depends on the style and the writing method that you use with calligraphy. So everyone's a little bit different, so your mashup might be a little bit different. I can go on and on and on about the tools, but today we're only going to focus on my top 3. Okay, let's talk about my favorite nibs. So this one is the Nico G. So the Nico G is my daily nib. It writes like butter. It's a little bit on the stiffer end, so my style of writing, it's really perfect for it. So really love the Nico G and highly recommend it for beginners as well. Then the second one I really recommend is this Browse 361 nib. So this nib is really good for writing on a bit more textured surfaces. It's actually a little bit harder to write with on smoother paper, at least for myself, because I write with a decent amount of pressure, but still really love this nib. Highly recommend it again to beginners. And then this third one, the Leonard Principal EF, is a fine nib with a bit more flexibility. So it's a little bit different from the Nico G in that sense, because this one has thicker swells but with really fine hairlines. But I would say it has that writing smooth feeling of Nico G, which I really like about it. So highly recommend this nib. Then let's move on to my top 3 pens. So the first pen is this one. Can't help but toot my own horn, but this is the Written Word pen. I really love it for practicing, and because I have so many of them, I have one for each nib and ink, and it's really good weight. It's wood, and it's also got like a good piece of thickness here, so in terms of writing, it helps reduce fatigue. I've also got this pen from Paper Ink Arts, which is also a really good pen. I really love using it actually when I'm writing multiple envelopes, like large envelope orders. I'll write it in the description below. It's on my resource guide of where to get this pen and what it's actually called. There's many different kinds on the Paper Ink Arts website. So I also really recommend this pen. And then I've got the Jake Weidman pen. So this one's a bit shorter, but it's also like way more ergonomic. Really love this pen. I reserve it for special events. As you can see, it's very pretty. So highly recommend this pen. And then I've got some ink bottles here. So this one is my daily, the Best Sumi ink. This one is got like a more matte look to the ink. I really like it. It's nice, deep, and black. It's really similar to this other ink bottle here. This is the Sumi ink Moon Palace. Also a really good ink that I recommend to beginners. I used to really like the Higgins Eternal when I was starting out because of its wateriness, its smoothness on paper. But nowadays, whenever I'm doing any kind of work that needs to be scanned, needing it in complete black has been super essential. So I highly recommend these inks, and they don't really cake too much, which is really good for Sumi inks. And then I've got this one, which is the Walnut Drawing Ink from Tom Norton. And it's really good. It's got this like sepia watercolor feel to it, but also just a nice, easy ink to use for any kind of practicing. And then, of course, my favorite papers for practicing. There's a couple of different ones. The Muji paper, this is my notebook and my journal at the same time, but it holds ink really well, and it's got this dot grid. It's super easy for writing in calligraphy if you want some structure to it. Love that. I also really love practicing with the Rhodia notebook. So this one I actually give out to my students whenever they have in-person workshops, because it's really great for practicing. They're really known for this thin vellum-y paper that is so good for holding ink. I'm really not sure what's on this paper, but it just holds ink so well. highly recommend it for practicing. And of course, if you want to go for a really cheap option, is HP copy paper. I know it seems mind-blowing, but you can actually use copy paper for writing in calligraphy. In fact, it doesn't even have to be this brand. Sometimes you just have to test it to see whether or not it works, but it definitely works for writing in calligraphy. So I highly recommend this paper, especially for those worksheets that I shared. If you wanted to download them for free, you can print them on this paper and practice with them and hold ink super well. So that's like my mashup, my favorite little tools, my top 3s for getting started in point and pen calligraphy. If you want the full guide on all the other things, all the other tools I use, I am going to put in the link in the description so you can go and download that and check out all of those other products that you can use. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my little mashup video of all my tools based on my writing style. I hope you guys find this useful for you. If you like it, make sure you hit like, say a comment below, subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified the next time we have a new one. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.